Okay, so we're a few weeks into the challenge now, and although we've been sticking with it, we've come to the realisation that the 315 isn't quite the right model for our garden. Now, there's a couple of reasons for that, which I'm going to quickly show you. But also, the good thing is, Husqvarna do a model that will suit every garden. So later today, we're going to be switching this little guy out for his big brother, the 430X. So in terms of the size of our garden, it's actually not that big, and it's easily the right size for the 315. The trouble is the shape and the complexity of our garden. So a quick bit on how it works. With the mower, we've got a boundary cable that goes all the way around the garden to tell it where it lives. Now, to make it easier for it to get home, there's another cable called the homing wire, which runs out from the docking station, and you can't see it because it's already grown through, but it runs all the way down to that end of the garden, so when the mower wants to get home, it knows the shortest route. Problem is, our garden goes off in that direction, and it also goes off in that direction, which means if he's down this end, it's great, he can find his way home. But if he goes down this end of the garden, he's got to work it out himself or follow the boundary wire, which isn't the quickest way back. So he has had a few problems where he's run out of battery. The good thing is, his big brother has 2 homing wires, which should solve that problem. Now, the other problem we've got is that this is a very complex garden. So, firstly, this is all downhill, which means whenever he's coming back, as well as taking a long way home, he's got to go uphill, which is using quite a lot of battery. We've also got lots of these nooks and crannies from the raised beds, but the big problem he seems to be having is this corner of the garden. Now, it's not going to be too easy to see, but because he doesn't always find his way into this corner, we're getting a lot of patches where the grass isn't getting cut, and you're starting to see little tufts that are a lot longer. Now, earlier in the season this was okay, but now we're into summer and the grass is growing at full pelt. He just can't cope, and we're seeing a lot of patches getting missed. So, the other way that's going to be helped is the GPS unit on the 430X, which helps it keep track of where it's been mowing. So little corners like this shouldn't get missed anymore. Upgrading from 315 has been nice and simple. All we've had to do is swap out the dock, as this is slightly bigger and also has that extra homing cable I spoke about earlier. And then all we've had to do is lay a new homing cable, which you can just about see coming through the grass. And just like the original cable that goes off down that end of the garden, it'll only be a couple of weeks and you won't have a clue where it is because the grass will have grown through it. So I'm just going to walk you down here following the cable, and then show you just how much easier it is for the mower to get home now it has this second cable. So here's the new guy doing his thing. So we're just going to hit stop. Quickly pop my pin in. Okay, and all we've got to do, hit park, and we'll park him till further notice, and once he's done I'll set him off again. Right, so with 315, where now it would just be randomly bumping around until it gets home. There we go. 430's already finding his cable, so he's just going to work out which way to go. And he's off. Now it's going to take 2 weeks for the GPS to learn every nook and cranny of the garden. So we're going to give it 2 weeks to get the hang of the place, and then I'm going to come back and revisit some of these little nooks and crannies like the raised beds and see how it gets on. And there you go, he's home. So whereas the 315 would usually take almost half an hour to do that, if not longer, that's just taken a few minutes.